Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of the encouraging content we share here. When life throws its toughest challenges, it's easy to feel like you're walking through a storm alone. The weight of responsibilities, the uncertainty of the future, the moments of doubt, these are real, but I want you to hold on to this truth. God is with you every single step of the way. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. You may not always feel His presence, but He is always there. It's like walking through a dark tunnel and not seeing the light just yet. But the moment you step out, you realize God was with you through every step of that journey. Even in the hardest times, He never leaves your side. Sometimes when things get tough, it's easy to wonder if you can keep going. You may feel like you're running out of strength, out of hope. Maybe you're facing a challenge that seems too big to overcome. And in those moments, it can feel like God is distant, like you're walking this road all alone. But even when you feel like giving up, remember this: God didn't bring you this far to leave you. He's not going to abandon you now. Just like He carried you through the past, He will carry you through the present and the future. In Isaiah 41:10, God promises us, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." This is a promise you can hold on to. God will strengthen you when you're weak. He will help you when you're unsure. He will uphold you when you feel like falling. His strength is limitless, and it is always available to you. You are not alone in this fight. He is with you, and He will help you through. Even when the road seems uncertain, even when you can't see the entire path ahead, trust this: God is guiding you. The challenges you face today are not the end of the story. They are the building blocks for something greater. You are in the process of becoming exactly who God has created you to be. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. He has a purpose for your life, and He's not going to abandon you now. Keep moving forward, step by step, knowing that He's right there with you, every step of the way. Remember, God didn't bring you this far to leave you. You are not alone. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep moving forward. God has great things ahead for you. There's a verse in the Bible that perfectly captures this idea of trusting God's plan. In Philippians 1:6, Paul says, "Being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." Take a moment and really let that sink in. God has begun a good work in you. He has placed a unique purpose in your heart. Before you even knew it, He was already orchestrating your life, preparing you for something greater. And here's the most amazing part: God does not give up on what He begins. His promises are not dependent on how easy the journey is or how quickly things unfold. His plan is bigger than any obstacle you face. It doesn't matter how many obstacles stand in your way, how long the path seems, or how difficult the journey becomes. If God called you to something, He will see it through to completion. He will carry you through every challenge, every setback, and every season of uncertainty. So, even when you're walking through a tough season, remember this: God is still at work in you. He's still writing your story. The journey may not always be easy, but you can trust that the one who began this work will bring it to fruition. He's got you, and He will carry you through. One of the most powerful truths we can hold on to, especially in moments of doubt, is God's unwavering faithfulness. Life can throw many curveballs, and we might find ourselves questioning whether God is truly with us. But the truth is, His faithfulness never wavers. In Hebrews 13:5, we are reminded of God's promise: "Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you." These aren't just words, they are a promise. In every moment, in every season of life, whether we're in joy or sorrow, God is with us. He will never leave us to face our struggles alone. Let's pause here for a second. Have you ever reached a point where you felt like you were at your breaking point? A time when you felt completely overwhelmed, maybe even abandoned? I've been there, and I know how it feels. But in those moments, that's when faith matters the most. It's easy to trust God when everything is going well, when the road is smooth and the future looks bright. But it takes real faith to lean on Him, to trust Him when the path ahead is unclear, when the future is uncertain, and when you don't have all the answers. This is when you need to remember, God is faithful. He never leaves you. He never forsakes you. Even in the darkest moments, even in the hardest seasons, He's right there beside you, guiding you, comforting you, and strengthening you. So, when life feels uncertain, when you feel like you're walking through the unknown, hold fast to this truth. God is with you. His promises are sure, and His plan is always good. You might not understand it all right now, but trust that He's at work, even when you don't see it. When you lean on Him, He will give you the strength to keep moving forward. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to trust that God is guiding you. Step by step, day by day, His faithfulness will lead you through. He will never leave you behind. You are His, and He will finish the good work He started in you. Thank you for joining me today. I want to encourage you to keep trusting God's plan for your life. Even when the road ahead feels uncertain, remember that He is with you. He is faithful, and He will see you through. Keep believing, keep trusting, and never forget, God didn't bring you this far to leave you. Stay encouraged, my friend. God's got this. You've got this. Keep moving forward in faith, and we'll see you in the next video. Faith, as we know, is often tested in the toughest of times. It's easy to trust when everything is going well, when the path is smooth and the sun is shining. But what happens when life gets difficult? When the obstacles seem insurmountable and the road ahead appears to stretch on endlessly? That's when our faith is truly tested. Think about the Israelites. They had witnessed one of the greatest miracles in history. God delivered them from slavery in Egypt, parted the Red Sea, and led them through the wilderness. They saw His power in ways most people could only dream of. Yet, despite everything God had done for them, they began to question His promise when the journey became difficult. As they wandered through the desert, they asked, "Did God bring us here to die?" They grew tired of the manna, and their faith faltered. They didn't see it at the time, but God was right there with them every single step of the way. Even when they complained, even when they doubted, He was still leading them, providing for them, and preparing them for what was ahead. God wasn't abandoning them. He was teaching them to trust in His timing and His power, and to depend on Him for their needs, even in the desert. If God could lead an entire nation of people through 40 years in the wilderness, through hunger, thirst, and every challenge imaginable, what makes you think He can't help you through your wilderness? What makes you think your struggles are too much for Him? If He was faithful to the Israelites in their desert, He will be faithful to you in yours. God has brought you this far, and just like He did for them, He will bring you through your wilderness. You're not alone in this journey. Have you ever felt lost? Have you ever been in a place where you couldn't see the way forward, where everything felt uncertain? When life gets tough, it's easy to feel like God has abandoned us. We start to wonder, why is this happening? Where is God in all of this? But in moments like these, we need to remind ourselves of what Scripture says. In Isaiah 41:10, God promises, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." This is a promise for you today. When you feel lost, when you feel alone, God is there. His presence is never far. He will strengthen you in your weakness. He will help you when you can't help yourself. And He will uphold you with His righteous right hand, lifting you when you feel like falling, carrying you when you can't walk on your own. So, what do we do when we feel lost? When the path seems unclear and the weight of life feels unbearable? We turn to God's promises. We remind ourselves that He is with us. We let Him strengthen us in our weakness and trust that He is guiding us, even when we can't see it. When you feel like you've hit a wall, when you feel like giving up, remind yourself of this truth. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. He's been with you every step of the way. He's seen you through the hardest of times, and He will see you through this one too. Don't lose heart. Keep pressing on. Keep praying. Keep trusting. You are not alone. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that these words have reminded you that you're never alone in your struggles. No matter what you're facing, God is with you, and He hasn't forgotten His promises to you. Keep the faith. Don't give up. He's got you, and he'll bring you through this. Take a moment to reflect on your journey so far. Look back and think about the times when God showed up in ways you didn't expect. There were moments when you felt alone, moments when you struggled or questioned what was happening in your life. But when you look back now, you realize something. You see God's hand at work, orchestrating things in ways you didn't understand at the time. Maybe, at the time, you didn't see how everything was falling into place. Maybe, like me, you wondered if things would ever get better. But in hindsight, you can now see how God was faithful. He was there even when you couldn't see it. He was with you in the struggles, in the waiting, and in the times of uncertainty. Sometimes God's timing doesn't match our own expectations. We might feel impatient, even frustrated, but that doesn't mean He's forgotten about us. His plan is always greater than we can understand. He's been guiding us all along, sometimes behind the scenes, working on things we can't yet see. And even when it feels like we've reached a dead end, He's already preparing something even better for us, something beyond what we could imagine. If God has been faithful in the past, He will be faithful again. He didn't bring you this far to leave you now. His work is still unfolding in your life. Trust in His perfect timing. I know that sometimes it feels hard to keep going. The path ahead can feel uncertain, and the weight of the world can make it feel like you're walking uphill. But I want to encourage you today. Don't give up. Keep moving forward, no matter how tough the journey gets. Remember that every step you take is part of a bigger picture. Every moment, every struggle is shaping who you are becoming. Even when you don't understand all the details, God is guiding you, leading you to something greater than you can see right now. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. He's with you, He's for you, and He will complete the work He started in your life. Even if the road is tough right now, don't lose hope. God is doing something beautiful in your life, something that will make sense in His time. Keep trusting, keep praying, and keep moving forward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. God is faithful, and He will see you through to the end. You are not walking this journey alone. He's got you. Trust in Him. Thank you so much for watching today. I pray that you're feeling encouraged and uplifted. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this message has been a source of encouragement and strength for you. Remember, no matter what you're facing, God hasn't brought you this far to leave you. His love, His plan, and His faithfulness are constant. He is walking beside you, even when you can't see it. If you feel like this message touched your heart, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. It helps us spread hope to more people who need to hear it. And if you know someone who's going through a difficult time, share this video with them. You never know how a simple word of encouragement can change someone's day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's completely free, and you'll be the first to know when we post new content to encourage you on your faith journey. I believe there's so much more God has in store for all of us, and I'd love for you to be a part of our community. Remember, you are never alone. God is with you. He's got a purpose for your life, and He's going to see you through. Keep trusting Him, keep praying, and keep moving forward in faith. Stay blessed and keep the faith. See you in the next video.